All right, we're all set up. We're in here. We're live. Game day. How you guys feeling? Do me a favor, hit the share button. Let's get after this. This one won't be super long, but I want to get as many people as want to get on here and talk about the game as possible. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, all those things that we normally ask. But it's rivalry day. It's game day. I want to get you guys in here. I want to get your thoughts. I want to know how you feel as we get started. Do me a those things that we normally ask for. We'll let a few people get in here and we'll get after it. This is recorded, so I'll go ahead and give a quick plug to Gramco. We're doing a massive tailgate with them right on the Legacy Walk. Had great vibes with them all year. Did a tailgate in New Orleans, a double fries, no slaw tailgate there. Did a big one for Clemson, and now we're back at it again for UF. I want to give away a couple of tickets to the tailgate, so figure out a way to do that. Maybe just shoot me a DM, and if you feel like you're worthy of tailgate tickets, we'll just do it that way. So shoot me a message. Let's get after it. Let's talk a little bit about FSU, UF. We'll maybe go for about half an hour this morning, and we'll roll. Hey, Gramco is your place to shop for Delta 8 products. Make sure you're using code TJ25 to save yourself 25% at checkout at thegramco.com. If you've not tried them, go ahead and check them out. The leader in Delta 8 products, founded by Noles. They are vet owned, and they are phenomenal products. Thegramco.com, TJ25 at checkout. Make sure you get you some gummies. Really, really good stuff there. And the orange hard candies. We don't like anything orange, but those orange hard candies they're the one thing that gets a pass. So, all right, hit the request button. I want to see what you guys think. Let's get after this today. I'll share some thoughts, but really honestly want you guys' thoughts. I want to know what you guys think about the game, how you're feeling. Are you nervous? You guys get nervous? When do the nerves set in? So I'll say this. For the LSU game, I don't think I ever really got nervous for that because I honestly just thought that would be a good game that would go either way. I was really busy at the tailgate. Like we ran out of gas for the generator. I had to walk about half a mile to go get gas, and then walking half a mile back with a full gas can was pretty taxing after drinking all day. But I got back and we got the generator fired back up for the DJ. Sometimes you just gotta work while everybody else is playing, and that's no problem. That's fine. But yeah, so I never really got nervous there because I was just too tired. For Clemson, I didn't really get nervous. I honestly thought Clemson was going to win, and unfortunately they did. So I didn't really get nervous in that one. About 30 minutes before kickoff in the Miami game, I got nervous. I don't know why, because we were so much better, but maybe just something about a rivalry, just something about you're playing on the road. You never know. I mean, Florida State's had letdown games before, right? So I got a little nervous with that Miami game. When we came out that first drive and didn't look very good on the first little series, right? Had a loss of yardage. Jordan looked like he was forcing some stuff. If not for that DPI, I mean, I didn't think that was a very good throw anyway. Obviously, the next play, Pokey gets the touchdown and all nerves are calmed, but a little nervous in that game. I'm not nervous for this yet. I agree with Gator Kirk here on YouTube. Shout out Gator Kirk, who's in here all the time, always the first one to comment. About an hour before kickoff, I'll get nervous. Like that's just how my brain works every time. I'll be fine all day. I'll be on the Gramco. We'll be on the shout out Bacon and Beer Co. that's going to be there. Shout out SOF Brewing, Soft Brewing, Special Operations Forces Brewing. I'll be on the beer. I'll be on the Gramco. My confidence will rise all day. I'll start talking more smack. I'll start saying we're going to win by 40 and 50. And then like an hour before kickoff, it just all like leaves my body. Like I'm just like, oh man, worst case scenario, what could happen? Blah, blah, blah. It starts to go the other way. So, but then as soon as kickoff happens and we get rolling, the nerves really leave. Like they're pretty well gone at that point, but I'll be nervous from 6:30 to 7:30. Like it just is what it is. Like that's just who I am. So I don't really apologize for it. I'm not really super nervous about this game. I think if Florida State goes out and plays their game, they'll win this. They'll win this going away. There's a reason that everyone's picking FSU. There's a reason Vegas has you as a 10-point favorite. There's a reason that, Florida's having to hype themselves up with fake hype around, Anthony Richardson's comments and this, that, and the other. And, they're just not very good. Right. And so if Florida State plays their game, they're going to win. I've read predictions by UF beat writers, and those are about 85% predicting FSU to win. Florida could win this game, but if Florida State just plays their game, we're not losing. And that just is what it is. Like Florida State. And when I look at, you try and look at the matchup and you say like, okay, well, where does one team have an advantage over another? And completely unbiased, right? Like I'm a pretty biased person. I'm wearing a Florida State polo. I produce an FSU podcast. I cheer for the Noles, but completely unbiased. When you go down the roster, Florida State has a better passing game. Jordan Travis is 5 times the passer that Anthony Richardson is. And that's not even debate. I mean, that's not debatable. Like that's not like oh man, you're just a hater. Like, no, that's not it. I might give Anthony Richardson a slight advantage in the running game over Jordan Travis. I think as far as like speed wise and elusive, like they're probably pretty similar, but I think AR is a little bit strong. I mean, he's definitely stronger. So, I don't know that Jordan Travis is going to like truck people where, AR might be able to. So maybe I give AR like a slight advantage in the running game. So, but I think the quarterbacks are at best a wash. If you say Jordan's the better passer, AR is maybe slightly better runner, Jordan's a better decision maker. Let's just call it a push, right? Like, let's not split hairs and say like Jordan's slightly better, Anthony's slightly better. Let's call it a push. I call the running game a push. I think their running game is really, really good. I think that they've got a great rushing attack. I'd say that wide receivers, Florida State's infinitely better. I don't think that that's close. Passing game, Florida State is much, much, much better. Offensive line's probably a push. I think our offensive line's played really, really well. I think their offensive line's pretty good. Passing game, checkmark FSU. Everything else on offense, I call it a push. Defensively, we're better at every single level. Defensive line, FSU's better. Edge rushers, FSU's better. Linebackers, especially with Miller out, but even if Miller was there for the first half, FSU's better. Cornerbacks, FSU's better. I think that's been our liability. That's been our weakness all year. But I still think FSU's cornerbacks are better than UF's. UF secondary is terrible. Safeties, FSU's better with Robinson and Dent back there. There's no doubt about it. Special teams, FSU's better. Fitzgerald's been kicking better. I like the way we return punts. Micah Pittman's been very good. He's been very reliable back there. Knock on wood. Hopefully we don't get a muff today because I said that. But special teams, I think, is better. Florida's got a really good punter. They just don't punt a lot. They just go for a lot of fourth downs. But I think Florida State's got better special teams. Florida's had some kicks blocked. Florida State's blocked some kicks. I mean, if you just look at the advanced analytics, I like Florida State special teams for sure. Coaching, I think Florida State's got a better coach. I think Mike Norvell has been phenomenal in developing players. I think he's been phenomenal in his calls on game day. Florida State's been really good from a coaching perspective. I think they've done a great job getting the most out of their players. Florida has more talent, according to the 247 team composites. But Florida State's coaches are better, and that's why Florida State's been a better team this year. But don't let them lie to you that Florida doesn't have talent. Go pull up the 247 composite. I think they're 4 or 5 spots ahead of the Noles. 247 team composite rankings. 2022 college team talent rankings. Florida's number 12. Miami's 13. Florida's 17. I'm sorry, Florida State's 17. Florida has 5 former 5-stars on their roster. Florida State has 0. Florida has 39 4-stars on their roster. Florida State has 30. Florida State does have more 3-stars if you were looking for a place where we do have an advantage. 5 5-stars to 0 and 39 4-stars to 30. Total blue chips, that's 44 to 30. Florida State has 2 more wins. After tonight, they'll have 3 more wins. And then the game's in Doak. So that's another check mark FSU's way. I think when you look at all of those things, this game is Florida State's to lose. Now, Florida State and every other team in America has blown games that they should have won. Could Florida State blow this game tonight? Absolutely. Anyone can blow any game at any time. Georgia beat Kentucky by 10 last week. All right? So anything can happen. It's still college football. There have been upsets. Upsets happen often. I don't know where this fake stat came out, though. I will say this, and then I'll shout out Garnet and Gold. Let me text them real quick and try and get them to jump in just so that I can give away something through them, too. Jump in spaces. There's a fake stat going around that I saw Josh Pate, which I love Josh Pate. This is not a shot at him. I think it's just somebody in his stats department that gave out a fake stat. But there's a fake stat going out and around that says something like Florida State has lost their last 3 games to Florida as a rank. When Florida State was ranked and Florida was unranked, FSU's lost their last 3 games. That's not true at all. Like that isn't the case. I'll quickly give you the breakdown. The last 3 times that Florida State was ranked and Florida wasn't were 2014, 2013, and 2010. The Noles won all 3 of those games. It's happened 5 other times in history that Florida State's been ranked and Florida unranked, and the Noles won. I know you don't care about this, but I'll tell you anyway. 77, 79, 87, 88, and 89 as well. It has happened 3 times in history that Florida State was ranked, Florida was unranked, and they got the upset. Those 3 were in 2004, 82, and 72. But the fake stat going around that Florida State has lost 3 straight times when they were ranked and Florida State and Florida was unranked is crazy. I don't really know where that is coming from. All right, cool. Let's give some stuff away. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reply to my own tweet, the Spaces tweet that we're live, and then I'll throw it up in the top of the space. I'm going to reply with Garnet and Gold and our Courtney Ashburn, my guy Courtney. Garnet and Gold, you guys know about Garnet and Gold. GarnetandGold.com. You can use code SPACES15 to get 15% off of your order. You're going to shop at Garnet and Gold. If you're on the way to town right now, just go by there, go in, do your shopping, get it done, get threaded, get ready to go, get to the game. If you're out of town, go ahead and do me a favor. Hey, this is the first time ever the numbers on YouTube have passed over the I love that. Shout out to YouTube folks. I love the YouTube numbers passing up the Spaces number. Just do us a favor and share this if you're here in the Spaces. Don't let the YouTube folks win this. But YouTube's killing it right now. So shout out. We might just move this to YouTube one day. I'm going to throw this in, but go get Garnet and Gold. You can use code SPACES15 if you're not going to Tallahassee. If you're not going, don't go up to the cash register and try and get them to use your code. It's not going to work. But if you do go, if you're out of town, you can use SPACES15 to save 15% on anything. There's a few exceptions. You're not buying those things anyway, so don't worry about it. But 15% off of your order, GarnetandGold.com, SPACES15. It works for YouTube too. SPACES15, GarnetandGold.com. You're going to order FSU stuff, guys, for Christmas. Save money doing it. SPACES15, GarnetandGold.com. My guy, Courtney, runs he's a kayak fishing guide. And if anybody gets the score right, which I just put the tweet up in the top of the space, if you're on YouTube, you can also comment it. If you get it right, you'll just have to email me. There's no way for me to message you through YouTube, but he'll give away a free fishing charter, a free boat tour if you get the score right. So comment your score right now. If you're watching this, comment your score. If you get it right, you get a free guided fishing trip. It's about $150 value, right? Good for a year. You get about a half day on the water. guided fishing trip for one, good for a year. Really good stuff there. I'm excited to get out on mine, by the way. So comment your score to the tweet I just sent out. If you get the score right as well, you'll also get a gift card from Garnet and Gold in that amount. Okay? So you'll double up here. If you get it right, you get two things. So never been a better time to get that done. Make sure you follow both Garnet and Gold and my guy. His handle is ParShooter30. I threw it there in the tweet when you're responding. 38-5. I like that. What's with this safety stuff? That's crazy. I like it. 38-5 would be fine with me. But yeah, if you're here on YouTube, again, comment your score prediction. My email is, so just remember this. My email is tj@doublefriesnoslaw.com. If you get it right, I don't have any way to reach out to you. So if you get it right, you're just going to have to email me. Now, I'll verify. I'll go back and look at the comments to make sure you're not a liar. But comment your score. If you get it right on YouTube, email me, tj@doublefriesnoslaw.com. Write that down or just remember it. And we'll get you hooked up with not only a Garnet and Gold gift card, but also a kayak fishing trip. First person to get it right. I will check like when you left the comment and stuff like that. So shout out to both of them. I appreciate you guys' support. They'll be out at the tailgate today. We'll be hanging out. Okay, let's do this. Let's give away a if you need a place to tailgate, shoot me a DM. First person to DM me right now needing a place to tailgate. I'll get you tailgate tickets. So shoot me a message. No Gator, doesn't matter. Come on out. Let's give away some tailgate tickets and get you out there. What are you guys' thoughts, man? Like, nobody want to request today. Nobody want to talk about the game. Oh man, the YouTube comments. There we go. Y'all hit that like button if you're commenting as well. But what are you guys' thoughts on the game today? Where are you at? Where are you watching from? My guy Brent is in here. What do you think the uniforms are going to be? I'm not spilling the beans. I know that Brent wants to know what the uniform. You're gonna like things. All right, things are going well. So just wait on stuff. Chill out a little bit. What's up, Brent?
What's up, guys?
How you feeling?
I mean, confident but nervous because you just never know.
Never know.
But I feel like this team is focused, and if they come out like they have, and the defense, I mean, if those receivers are really out, I can just see us just kind of suffocating Florida's offense and getting up to where, he may make a few plays, maybe like a 38-17 type of game. I really think Florida is going to have a hard time stopping us. As long as we don't stop ourselves, I think we should be fine.
Yeah, no, I mean, I again, this is me trying to be as level-headed as I can, which is, pretty tough. But yeah, this is Florida's game. This is Florida State's game to lose. I think as long as we don't end up on what's the guy's name that does like the coaching thing, like where he's like, they pissed down their leg. As long as we don't end up on that video, as long as we don't piss down our legs, I think we're fine. I think we're in great shape. And I do think FSU rolls tonight. Now, we went into a game last year that was a 3-point spread and was really anybody's game, right? A 3-point spread at home means it's kind of a coin flip. They're giving them 3 points for the home field advantage. And we had 3 turnovers, and one of them was absolutely detrimental. And, you could have got the ball around midfield. Instead, you give it to them at the 30, and they score to go up 2 scores. Can't do stuff like that. Absolutely cannot do that. So, yeah, as long as we don't it's a good question here, Matthew. I'll answer in just a minute. I'm going to put it on the screen so I don't forget it. You guys can obviously always utilize the super chat here on YouTube. But, yeah, as long as we don't kind of pee down our leg, I think we're in pretty good shape. So, where are you watching from, Brent?
If we get out early like we have been, I think Florida's kind of looking like for a reason to pack it in. So, I mean, and especially if we're running it just down their throats. Like I said, I think we'll be fine. Just don't give them hope, turnovers and stuff. That's the only thing that worries me.
Yeah. No, absolutely, man. Where are you watching from?
I'm in Nashville, the great home, the new home of Newburgh. So,
my man. You link up with Newburgh yet? Or are you waiting until I get up there?
I'm waiting till you get up here.
All right, we'll let you take us out and show us a good time, my man.
All righty.
Thanks, buddy. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
Thanks. Enjoy. You too, guys. Enjoy the game.
Thank you. All right. I haven't gotten any DM. I thought that for sure somebody would want a free tailgate ticket, but nobody, no sweat. First DM. Let me see. 1 second. You can, 1 second. Both. This is a good question, but yeah, anybody need tailgate tickets? First person to message me, we'll give you a couple of tailgate tickets, and you can come out and eat and drink with us today. Guthrie's, Gramco, a bunch of beer, a bunch of liquor, a bunch of good stuff out there at the tailgate. Good question here on YouTube. Let me go back to it real quick so that I can get it. Hey, triple digits on YouTube. Shout out you guys. Let me pull up this question. Sorry, I'm looking for the right tab that this is on. How can FSU take advantage of UF's injuries at receiver, stack the box more? Maybe, yeah, absolutely. Like I think you're playing a team with a quarterback who I think, let's look it up real quick. Anthony Richardson stats, who is very dynamic, but has been very hit and miss this year. Against the AP top 25 this season, he has a 52.1% completion percentage. Overall, he has a 55.7% completion percentage. He's been very boomer bust. Now, some of that is not on AR. Some of that has been on some injuries at wide receiver. Some of that has been on drops. And some of that's been on him being inaccurate at times. He's got a very good deep ball, I think. But he's not terribly accurate short to mid-range. I don't think he has been this year. Yeah, right of line. You got a good point here. Triple digits on live and only 25 likes. Guys, hit that like button if you're on YouTube. But yes, I think with all of the guys that UF has out and with their strength absolutely being the running game, I absolutely think that you stack the box a little bit and you try. I mean, if he starts to light you up through the air, then you may need to adjust that. You may need to kind of like change that up a bit. But yeah, I mean, if you're not stacking the box against a team that is really, really good running the ball and just so passing, I don't know what Fuller's doing, right? I mean, that just seems like the most obvious thing in the world to me. I would absolutely press. I would shadow people towards Ricky Purcell. He's their best wide receiver by far, but he's also banged up. And I would if AR can beat you with his arm, I don't know. And I don't know a game that AR has just gone out and won with his arm. Right. And I mean, outside of like an Eastern Washington or something dumb like that. Right. Like I don't know that a game that it's just been his arm that has defeated anyone. And if he's able to do that today, I mean, then you got to tip your hat to him and you got to say like, hey man, hats off to you. Great job. You won. But I think you try and make him beat you through the air. Like I said, if he's able to do that, great. If not, brutal. JC Noles Fins. Yeah, tickets are yours, my man. I'll just remind me when we get off of here. Driving up from Tampa. Yeah, here, I'll shoot you my number. You can shoot me a text so I don't forget. But you got it. Tailgate tickets are all yours. Sorry, you can have them. All right, cool. So got that taken care of. Make sure you go comment your score prediction up above. Again, if you get the score prediction right, not only get a gift card from Garnet and Gold, you also get a one-day fishing trip on a kayak with my guy, R. Courtney Ashburn. It's a guided kayak fishing trip, about $150 value if you get the score right. All you got to do is go comment what you think the score will be. Again, you can do that if you are on YouTube as well. Again, for those that maybe just tuned in on YouTube, hey, getting up high in the triple digits now. Shout out to you guys. We didn't even announce this. We just went live on YouTube. But for you guys on YouTube, if you get the score right, you'll have to email me. It's tj@doublefriesnoslaw.com. There's no way for me to contact you through YouTube. So you'll need to email me or shoot me a DM on Twitter or whatever, and we'll get you taken care of. Quick shout out to Renegade Sports Entertainment. My guy, Paul Aloise Jr. is a 2013 national champion. He'll be out there at the tailgate today. Excited to hang out with him. Make good decisions, guys. If you're going to the game, if you're not going to the game, it's rainy, it's wet. We're all going to be out there drinking. We're all going to be hanging out and partying and stuff. Make good decisions today And I don't care if the service is terrible and you got to wait an hour for an Uber. Don't do dumb things. Be smart. Surging prices are not as big of a deal as your life or a DUI. So make good decisions out there, whether you're in Tallahassee or not. Let's be smart. If you're back home, make good decisions there too. If you do get in any trouble, which we hope you don't, we want you to make smart decisions, make good decisions. If you do get in any trouble, shout out my guy, Paul Aloise Jr. You guys can hit him up. His info is in the description. Hit him up on Instagram. You can hit him up through his contact, which again is on Instagram. I know you on Twitter are writing things down. So you can find him here on Twitter. His @ is Paul Aloisi. But make good decisions. If you run into any trouble, he will help you out. He'll get you taken care of. He is an attorney here locally in Tallahassee. But again, make good decisions, please, this week or this evening. Don't do anything dumb, please. He does represent a few guys, Jacques Patrick, who just signed an contract, I believe, with – here, let me look that up so I don't lie about it. Should have had this ready, but I didn't. Sorry. Yeah, with the XFL. So good to see Patrick still playing. I loved him in college, and I'm glad that he's still making money playing football. So shout out JP. Also, my guy Paul is opening up a new office to not only be serving the Tallahassee community, but also down south in West Palm Beach, 561, where Jordan Travis is from. So shout out Paul. Appreciate his support. Appreciate him. And again, hopefully you don't need him this weekend, but if you do, again, remember the name Paul Aloisi Jr. He'll get you taken care of. But make good decisions, please. Shout out good decisions. All right, what else you guys got? We'll go for a few more minutes. We'll talk a little bit more. But honestly, that's about all I got. I feel really good about tonight. I'll get nervous at 6:30. It just is what it is. But want to see if you guys have anything else. Want to see if you guys have any other thoughts. Let's get those in, and then we'll get out of here, man. Y'all go enjoy your day. Go enjoy your tailgate wherever you're hanging out. My pinned tweet has our tailgate location. It also has where you can get tickets there. If you need anything throughout the day, just hit me up. Let me know. But let's get together. If you have any thoughts via DM, I'll read those off now. Or if you have any questions on YouTube, we'll go through for about 5 or 6 more minutes, and then we'll get out of here. Good question here. Is the UF defensive player that's suspended for the first half one of their better players? Yes, he's their best player on defense, and it's not close. He is absolutely – Ventrell Miller is absolutely the quarterback of that defense. That's a massive loss for Florida. And I'll say this. Rules are rules, and it benefits FSU that he has to miss the first half. But in his last game, I think this targeting crap has to be addressed. And so it benefits FSU. I'm not upset at all that he's missing the game, right? Like, great. I'll take any advantage we can after, the last 5 years. I don't agree with this suspension the next game crap. It's I don't even really agree with kicking him out of the game that they're playing in, unless it's like malicious. But this suspend him for another half because it happened in the second, to me, that's so dumb. You're telling me, and this is how backwards I think the NCAA is, you're telling me that if a targeting happens on the last play of the first half, like say it happens on the last play of the first half, kid's good. He can play in the next week. But if it happens on the first play of the second half, he's got to sit. Or if a targeting happens on the last play of the game, it's fair for him to only sit out a half of the next game. Shouldn't he have to sit out the whole game? I don't know. I'm just not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of suspending kids for stuff like this, right? Now, again, it helps out FSU. That's great. That's fine. I don't love this, especially for a kid. I think Ventrell Miller is actually a pretty good kid. He's a great player. Playing his last game. The bowl game. If he plays the bowl game, it could be one more. I think this is stupid to me. I think it's dumb. Now, again, it helps out FSU. I'm not complaining. But yeah, Sean has a good point. Like maybe a second targeting in a game is an ejection. But one play, I've seen the play. It was targeting. They called it correctly. But it wasn't malicious. I don't know. I just don't like that. and maybe the reason, again, I'm not losing any sleep over UF having a disadvantage here. But I remember how many games we've had guys miss time, how many big games we've had. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think it's stupid. A target, an ejection in the game, I don't even like. But to then suspend them a week later, I don't know. That's asinine to me. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, do you guys think I'm wrong? Like, I don't know. I think I think it's dumb. Now, it helps FSU, so I mean, great. I think that Florida really struggles defensively anyway, and then I think they're really going to have a tough time against Florida State's running attack, which will open up the play action, and I think Florida State will jump out to an early lead with him out. So it helps us, but I don't know. To me, that's dumb. To suspend somebody for the next game, I don't love that. But it's happened to. I mean, the rule was applied correctly. I just think it needs to be adjusted. I think it needs to be fixed. I'm not a huge fan of that just in general, but it is what it is. We because it could just. I mean, say they get, and knock on wood, I hate to even put this out in the air, but say they get verse on a targeting in the first quarter. How dumb? Yeah, I mean, if it's a malicious play or something, but it's just, to me, it's dumb. To me, it's very dumb to suspend kids for football plays. I don't know. All right, you guys got anything else? Any questions on the YouTube? Any questions you guys want to shoot via DM, or if anyone wants to request and has any takes they want to get off? Otherwise, I might go get some breakfast. I guess at this point it's lunch. I don't really know if it's breakfast anymore. But what else you guys got, YouTube crowd? What else you guys got in the DMs? Or if you want to request, here goes my guy, Pete. Pete's the GOAT. So we'll get Pete on here, see what he's got. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling statistically everything favors us. Hopefully we're focused like I've been. I've seen everything that I really needed over the last few weeks, which is progression. You don't want to see them going backwards. So I think we're going to be in a good place. Rivalry always gets to me, I think 10 is a good number. And,
Yeah.
Insults.
Say it again. Sorry, you're breaking out just a bit.
I said, I don't know if you heard me. I said, statistically, we look good all the way around. Like we're the team that should win on paper. 10 points is always a concern for me in a rivalry game, but I'm gonna say we'll cover. And what I've seen over the last few weeks has been progress. So that's what you got to look for. I think we've checked all the boxes. Go. I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, no,
my last statement was let's kick some Gator ass.
Let's go, man. I'm with that. Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, Florida. Again, I think this is Florida State's game to lose, right? And I think if you asked Florida fans that, I mean, I think they feel the same way. I mean, I think that they kind of know, hey, man, Florida State's the team that's playing better. They're the team that is at home. They're the healthier of the two teams. Like, I don't think anybody, I don't think Florida fans would even say like, oh yeah, we should definitely go and win this game. But I mean, it's still a rivalry. It's not like we're like 28-point favorites or something. I mean, 10 points is, you've seen that. I mean, that's not crazy. So yeah, I mean, I think that, as long as you go out and do what you need to do, you'll probably win. But if you screw around and let a team that's been been competitive in some big games. They had the Tennessee game down to one score with the ball. They cut the Georgia game down to one score. They played against LSU to a one-score game. You can, they've been in some games. They haven't found a way to finish it, but yeah, if you let a bad team stick around, I mean, you can get upset. I don't think that's that shocking.
Absolutely.
So,
hey, Eddie, what's the backstory, TJ? Their receiving core, is that illness or is that actual? They didn't meet team requirements.
No. I think it's more injury. I don't think there's I think it's it's pretty injury based. They've had some guys that were banged up. They've got some guys that got banged up last week, further injured.
Right.
But yeah, all kind of injury stuff. I don't think there's any.
Yeah.
There's nothing like kind of like sideways going on or anything like that.
I think they're probably using it as a win-win psychological, right? So we shouldn't have won because we sat our players, and oh look how close the game was. We sat our players. So for them,
yeah, I mean, which is fine. You know, they'll have more moral victories after this. They'll get ready for the recruiting spin to hit the timeline after the loss tonight. So
So I'm gonna look ahead 1 second, and I'm gonna hang up and say go Noles, but I'm looking 2 weeks ahead, and I'm looking at LSU upsetting Georgia. I'll leave you with that, buddy. See ya.
Ooh, that'd be a big one. Thanks, Pete. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
You too, brother.
Thanks, man.
Take care. I'll see you soon.
See you, buddy. Yeah, that would be huge. I don't think that would necessarily be good for FSU. I really kind of want FSU to sneak into that Orange Bowl if it's possible. I've done a couple of videos on YouTube talking about that. So if you're here on the live on YouTube, got a good number in here on the live. Again, it passed over the Spaces number, actually double. Yeah, 125 people in here. So first of all, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. I did a video kind of breaking down what FSU needs to happen to potentially get in that Orange Bowl. I still think it's very possible. I'll give you the cliff notes. You can go watch the full video after we're done here. Yeah, I think that if USC could stumble to Notre Dame, that'd be great. If TCU could lose a game this week or next week, that'd be great. You need Clemson to keep winning out. And I think if either one of those first things happen and Clemson wins out, we win today, I think Florida State does have a really, really good chance to be the ACC representative in the Orange Bowl, because I think the Clemson would sneak into the playoff. So yeah, hate to tell you to cheer for Clemson, but cheer for Clemson these next 2 weeks, and let's go to the Orange Bowl. I think we might match up with Alabama in that game, which would be a lot of fun. I think Florida State, I'm not scared of that. I think that'd be a lot of fun to see Alabama in that game. I think that's kind of a win-win scenario. As long as you don't get blown out, you'd have a lot of Alabama guys sitting out of that game, first-round draft grades and stuff like that. The common Alabama doesn't care about this game, blah, 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 all that crap. But Florida State's one of the hottest teams in the country right now. And so I'm not, I think they'd go out and they'd play well. If you lose to Alabama, nobody's going to be burning down the gates or anything like that. But if you get a signature win against Alabama to get your 10th win in the season, I think that's kind of a win-win, right? Jordan Travis not mentioned in the senior day. So he's technically listed as a redshirt junior, but nobody is really any year because of COVID, right? You had your red shirt, and then you had the COVID year, and then you got his red shirt. So he could be listed as a senior right now. They're just kind of using the COVID year because he does have the eligibility left to come back. My gut says that Jordan Travis comes back next year. That's not any inside info. I don't have any breaking news or anything like that. My gut leans with him coming back. Certainly not to say that he could get a good draft grade or things like that and kind of go off. But yeah, I think he comes back. I think that if you were to see him out there, it would be pretty obvious that he's not coming back. So yeah, I noticed that as well. That was big to me. Again, he is a redshirt junior. But if he was definitely gone, I think they would be honoring him. So yeah, I think it's likely that he comes back. Sorry. We got Knights fans in my DM saying to beat USF. I live in Tampa. You guys aren't going to get me to crap on USF on here. So sorry about that. Let's see. Another good question. We did not. Okay. So yeah, thanks for the love. We didn't break the Brock Glenn news. That was a pretty good, not very well kept secret. We did. I got a lot of questions on why I said we only had 7 wins in the Brock Glenn video that dropped on Monday. I recorded that last Thursday. So when I recorded it, we did have 7 wins. So I'm sorry about that. We put it out on Monday when he did flip from Ohio State, and it was wrong because it had already been pre-recorded. So we didn't break the news. Don't give me that credit. But for those asking why we said 7 wins instead of 8, we recorded it 2 days before FSU got their 8th win because we got a little tip that it was happening. So shout out FSU for landing a flip from so this is not a good. Okay, so here you go. Good question. What about this scenario? South Carolina beats Clemson, NC State beats UNC, and then UNC beats Clemson. FSU is the highest ranked ACC team. I do not. Okay, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Orange Bowl tie-in. I don't believe that the tie-in is the highest ranked ACC team. I think it's the ACC champion. Let's see here. I think it's the AC. Yeah, the ACC champion automatically goes to the Orange Bowl. So the only way that it goes to the highest ranked team is if the ACC champion is in the playoff. So as much as I'd love that scenario where Clemson, loses a couple and UNC loses a couple, and then we're just the highest ranked team, we would not go to the Orange Bowl then. Clemson would as the ACC, or UNC would as the ACC champion. So great question there, but no, that kind of crazy chaos scenario would not help us. There is a chance that Florida State could get an at-large if a bunch of chaos happens, but it would take a ton of chaos. I think you would need like 5 or 6 teams ranked right ahead of you to lose. I think Florida State would need to be like up around 9 or so after the ranking, for an at-large to happen. I think that's pretty unlikely. There's only one at-large spot, and I think that's going to go because the group of 5 champion, whether that be UCF or Tulane or Cincinnati, that's going to be one of the at-larges. You only got one left, and so you're basically saying FSU would have to be the top team that didn't get an automatic bid. I think that's pretty unlikely. So yeah, crazy chaos scenario would be fun, but it wouldn't automatically put you in the Orange Bowl like Clemson going to the playoff would. Do you think that the QB that flipped from OSU is why Chris Parson decommitted? Yes. I think Chris Parson understood that he wasn't going to be FSU's main priority. FSU wanted to keep him. They wanted to have 2 QBs in this class. They would have been happy with having Chris Parson here. But once Chris Parson realized that he wasn't the only guy, kind of ran from the competition and went to Mississippi State, where he is now currently committed. I don't think FSU's staff lost a lot of sleep over that. I think they would have liked to have a chance at developing him, but I don't think that they thought he was, going to be the future or going to be, this prolific quarterback that they just couldn't let go. I think that the staff understood that the chance at Glenn was probably worth the risk of losing Parson. And even though Glenn went to Ohio State instead of FSU, I think the staff was comfortable taking that risk based on who they have in the quarterback room right now and who they have committed in 2024, which is Luke Krummenhoek, a top 10 quarterback, according to the 247 rankings. So yeah, I do think, but I think Brock Glenn is why Chris Parson ultimately decommitted, or some mixture of, Brock Glenn plus FSU kind of looking elsewhere and kind of having their eyes on other targets. All right, you guys have it. Okay, let's get Josh on and then we'll get out of here. Unless you guys have anything else, any other questions, any other comments, you can hit the DMs, you can shoot me a tweet, you can message here on YouTube. Shout out all the YouTube. This is the most we've had on live on YouTube in a long time. Make sure you're subscribed. It's going to be late, but we'll do some kind of reaction after the game. Be really late, but make sure you're subscribed and come back and we'll talk about it. Unless we lose. I'm not doing it if we lose. Sorry to be fair weather, but y'all aren't going to come and visit, or y'all aren't going to come hang out at 12:30 in the morning after a loss. I just know it. So what's up, Homer?
What's going on, TJ?
How you feeling?
Getting out doing some last minute shopping for this game. We didn't, like I said, we aren't coming down there. So we got stuff last night. We got stuff tomorrow night. So tonight's our only day we're going to get to do a little Thanksgiving for ourselves. But we're going to do that today. and thought I'd do a little Black Friday bourbon hunt, and that was a solid fail.
My man.
But I just heard you talking about old Chris Parsons, and I just had to speak up. You know that guy? Okay, let me start over. I don't want to be mean to teenager. Chris Parsons showed up to that junior day or workout, whatever it was, and he knew he had the storyline of Brock Glenn and other possibilities that Mike coaches were going after. But what happened that day, my opinion, of course I wasn't there. I don't know for sure. But he sat there and watched Luke Cromahock embarrass him in a quarterback competition, and he decommitted because he knew even if he came, that Luke Cromahock was going to be the future, no matter what him or Brock Glenn did.
Yeah, I mean, I think he saw the writing on the wall, right? And then when especially when Florida State, you know, like Chris Parsons' dad came on here and like literally on this Spaces and basically like was begging FSU staff to not. I mean, you guys can search my tweets, like you know, the clip of it is on Twitter, but basically came on these Spaces and begged FSU staff to not go after other quarterbacks, and you know, was making his plea, I guess, through Spaces, and FSU staff still went after other quarterbacks, and so they decommitted. But I mean, he basically came on here like a week before the decommitment and said, you know, FSU needs to not target anybody else. Chris is the guy. Like, we're locked in. We're Florida State, blah, blah, blah. And then they targeted other guys, and the kid decommitted. So, I mean, I think you're exactly right. Like, he saw the writing on the wall. You got a lot of background noise, dog. I got to mute you. But he saw the writing on the wall, understood where his place was going to be, and kind of just said, like, hey, man, this isn't it. You know, I need to go somewhere where I can actually compete and I can actually play, and you know, we can have a chance to be a factor. So, Homer, you got anything else? I'll let you off mute. You were just making a lot of background noise and I couldn't focus. You got to come off mute, though, if you got anything else.
Yeah, man. I really have cut me loose, brother. I'm in between getting in and out of cars anyway. My damn phone wants to go from the car to my headset. And
the Bluetooth.
Technology bullshit I don't understand. So thanks for getting me on. I'll talk to y'all later.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I hate that, man. When you're on the phone with somebody and then you hop in the car and my wife's Bluetooth takes like half a second to connect. Mine takes like 30 seconds. So people just hang up because they think I'm gone. I don't know what the problem with my Bluetooth in the car is. So anyway, so I feel your pain there. Question here. Where is the tailgate? 15-hour drive to Tallahassee. Nate on YouTube. Nate, shoot me an email. It's tj@doublefriesnoslaw.com. But for anybody listening, we are right at the Legacy Walk. If you go to the Heritage Fountain, which is right between Doak Campbell and Dick Hauser, if you ask anybody there working the everything, like they'll tell you it's right between Dick Hauser and Doak Campbell Stadium. It's the Heritage Fountain. We're the first tent on the right, big white tent. There's a bunch of tents out there. Ours says Double Fries No Slaw on it. 15-hour drive, bro. I got your tailgate tickets. Come on by. Nate, you can shoot me an email if you have any questions, and we'll make sure we link up. Other than that, man, I think that's it. We've been on here. We went a little longer than I thought we would. Again, we'll come back tonight. We'll do something. Shout out to the huge numbers on YouTube. Like I said, this is turning into a YouTube show. All love for the Twitter Spaces, because that's how people call in. But man, the YouTube crowd is killing it lately. So thank you to the YouTube folks. Thank you to the Twitter folks. Again, appreciate Gramco, Garnet and Gold, and Renegade Sports Entertainment. Make sure you're supporting them. Nole-owned businesses that give back to our athletes. Renegade Sports Entertainment, my guy Paul Aloise Jr. represents Pokey Wilson. Maybe Pokey go off tonight. Get him a touchdown against both Miami and Florida this year. That'd be awesome. So let's get after it. Guys, shoot me a message if you need anything. I'll be hanging out at the tailgate all day. Going to go pick some stuff up and head out there soon. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. Make sure you're subscribed if you're on the YouTube. Y'all on Twitter. Be safe. Make good decisions today. Let's beat the hell out of Florida. Again, here on the YouTube, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I don't know where the likes are at, but we had well over 150. Like, we've had hundreds and hundreds of people that have been on the live stream. Do me a favor and like this video. It helps tremendously. make sure you're subscribed. We're going to keep doing FSU content all through the weekend. We'll be hanging out. We'll probably go live after Pittsburgh beats Miami tomorrow because that'll be fun. Do me a favor. Subscribe, like, let's hang out. Appreciate you guys. We're going to do more giveaways. We got a lot of fun stuff planned for the offseason. Recruiting is going to pick up. Make sure you're subscribed. Go Noles, and let's beat the hell out of UF.